Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The ogres are on the hunt, and they are going to be bringing some firepower as they look to deal with the forces of Tzeentch in this domination style game. So for the ogre army, we are going to be having some noblars up in front, 4 units of those, and they are going to be backed up by a couple of gorgers looking to really do some good work with them. We have some lead belchers as well, can give some nice ranged firepower, and of course we do have those double hunters going to be just trying to help kind of poke away at those sky units and keeping them at bay and away from those lead belchers. In the trees we do also have a Scrag the Slaughterer, as he is going to be rolling in with Toothcracker and Troll Guts, and of course he won't be leaving home without the Cauldron of the Great Maw to buff up those gorgers even more so. Now as for the forces of Tzeentch, they're going to be coming out in greater numbers, as we do have a couple of these Screamers going to be sitting in the forefront with a Herald of Tzeentch of the Tzeentch lore going to be taking flight in the foreground. He does have the Locus of Conjuration as well as just the Blue Fire of Tzeentch, really looking to snipe out those characters. And of course he does come with that Arcane Conduit, going to be given a nice 40% to the power recharge, but that does not increase those reserves. In the front line, or I guess the ranged line, as we have a bunch of blue horrors of Tzeentch going to be spread out, going to be rolling in with 5 of them right off the bat. We have a couple of pink horrors as well, and a Cultist of Tzeentch as well coming in with that fireball. We have the Gate of Tzeentch, which does give a summon of pink horrors, and it can be coming in with Kindle Flame as well, going to be reducing that or increasing the weakness of fire damage, going to be dealt to the ogres. And considering how every single unit out here does have that fire damage, it is going to be quite helpful. I mean, these Screamers don't, but all of those horrors are going to be rocking that fire damage. That should be some good synergy with that. But let's get things rolling, as both sides going to be kind of pushing forward ever so slightly, as the ogre is going to be wanting to protect those lead belchers. They have plenty of range going to be coming their way, and those Screamers are going to be wanting to stay kind of in reserve. They're good tools to deal with the gorgers, as the ogre is just going to be assessing the situation early on, as they're going to be taking some shots from that Herald, as the lead belchers do open up trying to kind of poke away at that Herald of Tzeentch, but he is such a little tiny target up in the sky, so he's going to be able to dodge most of those incoming fire. And it would probably be best to kind of redirect that fire elsewhere, as the Tzeentch forces are going to be kind of pushing forward, and now the Noblars are themselves going to be kind of slowly approaching that front line. They're going to be rather waryful with all of those blue horrors sitting there. They will make quick work of those Noblars. We are going to be getting some reinforcements in the rear, as some pink horrors are going to be trying to move around on the flank towards point 1, just kind of get a little bit of pressure on that flank. Now they will have to be kind of mindful these gorgers will make quick work of them if they do kind of meander their way that direction. Both the hunters now going to be kind of pushing forward, as well as the Herald of Tzeentch going to be firing away with that blue fire right into Scrag, doing some decent damage as Scrag tries to do a little bit of a spinorama. He is able to dodge the incoming fire from that Cultist of Tzeentch with that just little waggling that cauldron back and forth, as he is going to be able to dodge at least some of that incoming fire, as Tzeentch is going to be attempting to deal with him very quickly, because deal with him and those gorgers are going to be a lot less fearsome. Well, not necessarily a lot, but they will be a little bit more manageable to deal with, as the fire just going to be raining down on those Noblars. Noblars are going to be trying to kind of pull back out of the range of these units, and are going to be trying to pull Tzeentch forward, as they're going to be using kind of a lot of their mobility. We do have some Iron Fists now coming in. These guys do have that shield, and another fireball going to be arcing its way towards Scrag. Now this time it does make some connection there, as the hunter as well can be taking some decent damage. Another blue fire going to be raining its way off towards Scrag, taking a bit of damage so far, and that does imbue that warp flame as well. You normally want to be following up with that fireball, as we're going to be getting some summons, some pink horrors, so plenty of ranged on that front line, as the ogres do charge in, doing some decent work so far to these blue horrors, but they are going to be woefully unopposed, as the man-eaters going to be coming in as well, getting a little too far forward. They were kind of hoping to get some fire on to those screamers and are going to be pulling right on back, but they're going to be taking quite a bit of punishment from all of these pink horrors, as Tzeentch is just overwhelming the ogres with their just volume of fire right now. They are going to be capping point 1 on that flank, and they've secured point 2 fairly strongly at this stage in the fight. Another fireball going to be coming in. It does fall just between the cauldron and Scrag himself, so there's going to be a little of something to note with Scrag, is that his hitbox, the center of mass, happens to be right between where his hitbox is, so he's going to be able to kind of dodge a lot of that. Gorgers are going to be charging in. Ogre Bulls going to be hitting into these pink horrors, and more blue fire going to be arcing its way off towards Scrag as he does take more and more damage coming in. Man-eaters, though, going to be getting some good shots in onto these screamers who have kind of charged in to counteract these gorgers, and the gorgers just trying to really push forward, but all of these blue horrors and the screamers in particular are doing a really good job. Another fireball swinging and missing right through the goalposts of Scrag's body there, as the forces are going to be kind of pushing forward, as we're going to be getting that little dismember action. They're going to be kind of slowing down this group. It's going to be allowing all of these units to charge in, and it's going to be holding these screamers at bay while the gorgers try and kill as much as they can. But we do have another unit of screamers going to be charging on forward, as these screamers up on top can be taking that fire from those lead belchers as we kind of swing back. Pink horrors and some screamers still holding point 1, and more units are going to be starting to get some good shots in with that volume of fire in those center ranks. But Ogre Bulls do have at least a little bit of presence here in the center ranks, but everything is really just trying to focus down those gorgers on that front ranks, as Scrag himself is going to be wading into battle, just kind of be trying to get nice and close, as the Herald of Tzeentch has pretty much used up all of its ammunition. More gorgers are going to be coming away, and the ranged firepower from the ogres is doing some good work at range, as Tzeentch really doesn't have anything to really push forward without leaving those gorgers really unopposed, as another unit going to be charging right into the center ranks just as these blue horrors are starting to completely crumble away. And now they'll be able to get right into all of these pink horrors, and there is plenty of those. There is 4 pink horrors, 5 pink horrors now at this point, all in that very tightly compact one. I think one of which is going to be a summon, considering we still have those units off onto point 1, holding that down for Tzeentch, as the ogres just continue to get shot to pieces in the center ranks, as Scrag himself is under just a barrage of fire from all angles. Gorgers as well are just withering under this storm. But we do have some units coming in on the back. Some Ogre Bulls going to be trying to charge in. These guys with the dual weapons and that bonus versus infantry are going to be trying to just mow down these pink horrors, because all of the blue horrors now are gone, so that is going to leave these pink horrors a little bit more vulnerable, though they are no slouches in melee themselves, as that Herald of Tzeentch is now going to be pushing forward against Scrag to really try and deal with him, as he finally is able to bring him down. But Gorgers are going to be coming in, going to be looking to take point 3. They are quite a ways down in the points. That is going to be allowing them to get a bit extra on that base income. Now you can see they're getting 21 off of the base 16. 5 of that is going to be coming in from that comeback mechanic, so they're going to be getting more units on the field than Tzeentch is going to be able to kind of provide. But these Ogre Bulls charging forward are just going to melt once more, just under that volume of fire. So many units still on the field, as these pink horrors are going to be slowly crumbling to the ground, and Tzeentch still just be very content on point 1, holding that, as the Gorgers again going to be pushing into point 3, as Tzeentch is fully focused on the center point, and for good reason. If they're able to really kind of clear things out, and they've done a good job of clearing out the infantry up until this point. Lead Belchers and those Man-Eaters have pretty much used up all of their ammunition. Man-Eaters have in fact done so, but these guys, they're not necessarily all too, but they still have a 110 weapon strength themselves, so they actually can do some pretty good work in terms of melee. But they do have to get into melee, as the Tzeentch forces just continue to just fire away with all of it, and now they're going to be having some support with some blue horrors on that flank, and all of these screamers here, 3 units of those. That is a lot of units over in reserve, and they'll be providing some excellent deterrent against any of the mobility that the ogres try to kind of force their way, as we're going to be getting some more of that, exactly as the Gorgers going to be just trying again just to break this center ranks. They need to do something here, as the fire is just going to be raining down. Now, we do have the Exalted Pink Horse in here as well, but the Pink Horse is going to be just trying to get some good firepower on that front rank, since we do get that Dismember off onto the Screamers, going to be slowing their speed down to 60%, and that's just going to be allowing the Ogres to really kind of get into position as they just kind of try and hold things from reinforcing, as the Gorgers are going to be charging forward, and this just barrage of blue fire and pink shot can be just drowning these Ogres as they just continue to try to take that point back, and they are quickly slipping, but they are getting 26 points. They have 9 losing compensation, so they are getting a ton of value back. Gorgers have finally capped a point and are going to be swinging around for a nice little rear charge, just as the other units do hit that front line, but more shots just going to be focusing all of them down, but they are slowly kind of getting a little bit of ground back, especially with the charge in from these Gorgers are going to be getting some nice damage in, and more units coming in. So now 4 units of Gorgers are all on the field, and that is going to be a lot of units to really deal with. Hunters, unfortunately, have kind of been hunted down themselves as they just continue to get shot down by these Exalted Pink Horrors. The Man-Eaters, given what they could, are going to be routing themselves, and we do have some Ogres, though, kind of returning on the flanks. But they really need to get some points back soon. That time is quickly slipping away. At this point, they do need to triple cap. We have some units kind of off onto the flanks, but this point over here, point 1, completely unopposed now, and the clock is going to be ticking on trying to get that point back. But all these units are quickly dealing with the ranged units, as the Herald of Tzeentch has used up quite a bit of its Winds of Magic. Now, it only did have that blue fire, but now in comes Gorgers. The reinforcing Ogre Bull is going to be charging forward into those Exalted Pink Horrors, just trying to keep their shots from raining in against the charging Gorgers, as they're going to be making quick work of these units with the support of some Man-Eaters as well. Going to be just trying to keep those Screamers at bay, but this whole flank on this side has really collapsed, and there's 3 Gorgers there who are going to be able to quickly overwhelm this center point, and that point is falling to the Ogres, finally capping that, but they are still down quite a ways, 3,000 points, and they are going to need to start mounting an offensive on this flank, and they are going to be using the Mournfang Cavalry with great weapons, some bonus versus large to really kind of help with these Screamers with those Gorger supports, but that center ranks is going to be now fully under control of the Ogres. Only really the Cultists, the Herald, and the Screamers are the only thing really contesting that, and even this Herald of Tzeentch getting a little caught out in the melee grind. Definitely does not want to be there, as he does give that nice buff with that Massacre, so base weapon damage and armor piercing, just trying to really punch through these units as quickly as they can. And these Mournfang Cavalry, 2 units of those actually at this point, needing that speed to take this point as quickly as they can, so they're going to be charging forward. A lot more reinforcements still going to be coming in. We have some Novelars just for some extra capping power. As these guys charge in, they'll be able to do some good work. They're shutting down those Pink Horrors very quickly, and the Screamers are going to be doing some good damage to them, but 2 units is going to be a little hard for even a couple of Screamers to really deal with, and the center formation now is going to be under more focus fire, as these Pink Horrors can be coming in. 3 units of those going to be firing away. Hunter and some Ogre Bulls just trying to just delay at this point on the back, but they are all going to be shattering right off the map in that back front, and the Gorgers in the center ranks going to be getting just barraged now by more and more firepower, as things are going to be kind of getting shot to pieces here. We do have one rather healthy Gorger, but they need to hold this point at all costs, and they need to be getting more and more support in. We are going to be getting some Ogre Bulls with dual weapons. We, again, just trying to break through those formations and just give a little bit of staying power, but over on to point 1, with so close for Tzeentch onto that victory point, they are going to be starting to throw in just tons of chaff units, and these Mournfang Cavalry are actually getting fairly close to routing. Now, they have been able to pretty much cap it, as they are going to be capping in just a second. Now, that will stop that clock from ticking onto the other side, and is going to be allowing these Novelars now to kind of get in. So they have done their job. They have capped the point that they absolutely needed to cap, but they have paid very dearly for that, as both of those Mournfang Cavalry do end up routing to those Pink Horrors and the Screamers, and the Ogres have actually been able to kind of push things back just a bit. Gorgers, though, taking quite a bit of fire, again, from all of these Pink Horrors. We have some Exalted ones in here as well, so that is quite a bit, but these dual weapons can be charging forward, just trying to hold things back from point 2 for as long as they can, and they are going to be needing it ever so dearly. Kind of looking off, point 3 still completely contested, as the pink hordes are just going to be focusing down point 2. All they need is 1 point, and they're just trying to put everything they can into this point here. And the ogres as well, they are going to need to hold it, so we're going to be seeing some Iron Fist coming in as well. So these guys do have some shields, hoping to just withstand the barrage from all of these units for just as long as they can. And point 1, these Noblard doing a decent work at kind of holding things back. They do have some Ogre Bull support, so they should be able to kind of help deal with those Screamers, but Screamers bonus versus large shouldn't have too much of an issue with there. And the Noblards are actually going to start routing, and that is going to be giving the advantage to Tzeentch on this point, but we are going to be having some support coming in, some Gorgers charging forth, having replenished their HP, and they're going to be coming in trying to just hold the points at all costs. The Iron Bolt, or the Ogre Bolt, is going to be charging once more into the breach. As they charge forth, it's going to be trying to deal with these Screamers, and then turn their attention to just the overwhelming numbers of pink horrors. Going to be raining down fire, as there's four units of pink horrors and one exalted, actually 2 exalted, going to be sitting in there. So that's just a ton of damage just focusing down these units, and they are just under a massive barrage and are quickly going to be losing ground, as we just have some saber tusk packs. Anything that the ogres have, or they're just throwing at the wall, trying to hold or delay these points for as long as they can. And Tzeentch looks like they are well on their way to taking that center point. Off onto the flanks, these pink horrors are starting to slowly take this point on the far side, as the Screamers kind of push forward to just kind of delay these Gorgers from getting in, but the Noblar is going to be coming in, going to be able to at least delay that for as long as they can, and they actually should be able to deal with those pink horrors with how low they are. On the center ranks, Tzeentch now firmly in control of point 1, but have they taken too long to do that? That point total is getting dangerously close on both sides. Ogres still have points 3 and 1 fairly well under wraps. It is going to take some time to be able to cap those, and now Tzeentch is just going to be trying to push forward as far as they can, just going to be completely just denying the ogres any chance at taking point 2 back. There's just not enough units left on the field for the ogres to even mount any reasonable offensive there, and at this point it is pretty much down to just watching the clock. Either side can't really take any of the points. There's just not enough time to even get to any of those points, and even less time to even cap them, so it is going to be down to the wire. That clock is ticking, only 100 points to go for Tzeentch, and it is so very close, but I do think that the ogres might have just that little edge. They had only 190 out of to go, and they have 2 points, so they are capping at twice the rate of Tzeentch. That points is as close as you are going to be getting. 75-80, and now it is tied as the ogres take it with just 5 points to their name. 5,000 to 4,995 points. It doesn't get any closer than that. So let's take a look at the after battle report. And yeah, close victory. I think it is a lot closer than you could ever kind of hope on that front. So for the after battle report, so for Scrag the Slaughterer, did not do a whole lot there. He was able to get at least a little bit of spell casting off. But Tzeentch being a Tzeentch, they are excellent at dealing with single entities, and they did a rather nice job at that. Gorgers, on the other hand, 1330 on 1, only 662. Those Screamers did an excellent job of dealing with them. Lead Vultures able to get some nice value themselves, and plenty of chaff for those Noblars. In the reinforcement pool, the Mornfang Cavalry were able to do just what they needed to. They did not get a whole lot of value, but they were able to cap that far point, and that was really the biggest need of the day for them. Rest of the Gorgers getting 14 and 1366, and then just more of those Ogres doing some okay work. Nothing too great on that. And as for the Heralds of Tzeentch, able to get 1379, not necessarily all too much damage there, but these Screamers, 1777 on them, 1600 on that unit, and then all of these pink horrors, over 1,000, 2,280. That is a ton of damage on this unit of pink horrors. All of the other blue horrors, even 1653, they just drowned the ogres in just overwhelming firepower. Taking a look at the reserves, these exalted pink horrors doing excellent work as well. Didn't even see any of these Forsaken. just looking for more volume of our screamers, doing excellent as they do, and just a ton of damage. Really, we're kind of seeing that damage differential because Tzeentch just overwhelmed the ogres with their range. They just failed to kind of hold that point for as long as just that kind of lack of quick mobility that can cap objectives really was what kind of spelled disaster for Tzeentch, even though they very much outdamaged the ogres here in that fight. But that is all I'm going to have here today. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good one.